Hey guys, hey. Welcome to the room. I am your host, Raquel May David. And as you can tell, y'all, I am all over the place. Welcome. It is Monday, and Monday is always an interesting day for me. I want to thank my co-host, who is David Sanchez. You can see Raquel May David Sanchez. We were meant to be. I'm so excited that everyone is here. We do have, I do want to go over what today's call is. And today's call for Dispute Panda is we are in the standard Dispute Panda flow, and we will be going over how to set up an account. We're going to go over adding a client in the profile, and then we are going to go over finishing your first round of letters. With that being said, whether you are doing this as a CRO, which is a credit repair organization, or you're doing this for yourself, I am so happy that you guys are here, and we want to make sure that you have all of the tea to be successful through the process. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen real quick. Oh, my stuff just be falling all over the place. Hold on. I'm going to start sharing my screen real quick, and I'm going to give everyone about 5 minutes because I know that everyone's at a different space. And I always start off the call with a wonderful icebreaker, guys. So, icebreaker of the day is, what is the most interesting book you've read recently, and what did you like about it? That is going to be the icebreaker. We are going to be answering this question until 5 minutes after 8. And then we are going to get started with Dispute Panda all together. Give me 1 second here. So anyone has any good books? The book that I am currently reading is .com Experts. That is the book that I'm currently reading. I am trying to go ahead and build up my website presence, and that really matters to me. So the book is very interesting. It does also have like funnel information and things of that nature. I'm sorry, did you say something, Julius?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay, no worries. Welcome to the room. Welcome to everyone who is in here. Again, my name is Raquel May David. I am your host. My co-host and mod is David Sanchez. And we are going to be diving in today to get started. Today, the goal of the call today and the purpose is to go ahead and get you set up with your Dispute Panda account. And the goal is, if you are by your computer, to finish your first round of letters. If you have any in-depth questions or any questions about credit repair, I do want to be very transparent that we do have a call on Thursdays. It's going to start again this Thursday because we were on vacation, where we get to meet with Dominique Brown for 1 full hour, or however long it takes for us to answer questions in the pro group. And as everyone can see, I am in the community. So I do have a lot of people that come in that are looking for us on Facebook. Nah, child, we out here in these streets, okay? We in these community streets. So we're going to drop the link for you to sign up for the community if you are in Dispute Panda. We got 1 minute. Do we have any general questions for those of you that are in the room? I like to start off with everyone dropping pandas that already have the platform. I know Michelle got the platform. Hey, Michelle. I know she got the platform. So whoever, if you guys can drop in the chats. Okay, hey, Lance. Lance got the Lance is out here dipping and doing it on this Monday night. It's dark out there, Lance. Okay, no pro version. That's okay. You don't need to have pro. Julian said she is a CRO. So welcome to the room. Do you have the platform? Can you drop a panda if you got it? Drop a panda if you got it. All right. I see a couple of return names. So welcome. I see a couple of new faces. Panda. If y'all saw my Instagram, y'all know I literally posted Panda all day yesterday. Hey, Santana. Hey, Fred. All right, it is 8:05, y'all. So in the chat, David, can you drop for me the link for the community so they can have it? so they can go ahead and sign up for the community. And that way we can make sure that you guys have everything that you need. The reason that I always stress the community at the beginning and at the end of all of our meetups is because it is imperative that you are in a room with a bunch of like-minded individuals. So if you have questions, concerns, comments, JM is normally our mod in the group, and JM and Dominique are always making comments. So if you have a question about a process, how a flow works, all of the things, if we are not here Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday, if you're in the pro group, you can come to the community and get all of the information you need in order to be a beast in these credit streets. Okay, that's my tagline. That's what y'all go here every time y'all pull up on me. So I'm super excited to get started today. Any questions before we get started? No. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, one of the things that I love about Dispute Panda, unlike other software, the link to the community is coming, guys. Give me one second. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna put it. Just give me a minute.
No problem. It's a code that you guys are gonna get. So give me a second. It'll be dropped in the link, and everyone will be able to grab it. Thank you so much, Lance. All right. So with that being said, Dispute Panda is the amazing AI software that helps you to go ahead and repair your credit, your family's credit, literally seamlessly without any errors, and we give you the flow that you need in order for you to get started. So if you are new in this system, you still will have the ability to know exactly where you need to go, what you need to do, no matter if you're doing bankruptcies, repos, or collections, right? What I like to do is cover the main items on the main platform that you're looking at right now that we're going to go over. And then from there, we're going to actually start with an account. So if you have questions about setting up a profile or going through, if you are at your computer, we can literally do this together. And that's the goal, to make sure that you have what you need, okay? So I like to cover pricing because I like to be upfront. I like shopping. I like sales. I like coupons. Okay, so I like to give y'all the juice right from the beginning. So the Dispute Panda is a 100% pay as you go program. And as we go through the process, I'm going to tell you guys how you can repair your credit for the free 99 on the platform. So the standard cost every single month is $17 per round. So not per credit bureau, because we know we have TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. It's per month. So every month that you come in, you pay $17 for a round of attack as long as you have the credit monitoring software. Now, I'm going to show you once we dive in, because the client that we're going to build today is going to be using our Credit Dyno software, which allows us to get a free credit report every 35 days. So I'm going to show you guys that in a moment. But I want to go ahead and talk about all of the options with Dispute Panda. So if you are looking to do this for yourself, I did see someone say that they are a credit repair organization. I saw Calvin, shout out to Calvin. Calvin said he's trying to get his hard inquiries off his credit report. You have come to the right place, okay? Now, if you're looking to make sure that you get the secret sauce in credit repair, what I want you to go ahead and leverage is we do have the pro version. The pro version is $197. It does come with additional perks such as integrations with other software. It also comes with a portal, a secured portal for your clients to send information to you. And also a host of other robust things that I'm going to dive into when we get in. But one of the main features is with the Pro, we do meet every Thursday, outside of holidays. Okay. We do meet every Thursday to go ahead and go over things that you should be doing with your files for your clients, answering any credit questions that you have on how to process. And then of course, if you have questions in the actual platform, we do answer those questions as well on Thursday. Okay. Again, it is $1 for 14 days and then $197 a month, or you can pay for the yearly and it comes up to saving you 2 months at the $1,970. Okay. So I like to go ahead and get this out the way so we can dive into the good juicy stuff. These two I'm going to show in the platform. I'm going to jump into training, and I'm going to tell you why I jump into the training when we get here. When you get the software, the training is included on. Calvin said, "Give him the sauce." I'm trying, honey. I'm trying. I'm gonna get to it. It's nice and spicy because I'm Jamaican. Okay, nice and spicy. Anyway, when you get the platform, when you get the Dispute Panda inside the platform, I will show you where you can also find the training module. But on the home screen, the training module is here. The reason why this training module is so important to have is because when you're leveraging here, they automatically give you the guide. So you don't have to question, how do I do credit repair? What letters do I send out? The software and the beta testing team that we have literally went and searched and tried to make it as simple and concise as possible, telling you exactly how you can do the credit repair. So for the OGs that are in the room that might have the old flow, we did have a previous flow that broke down, and a lot of people were like, well, which one's the best one to use and which one's the most effective, which one? And they were getting confused because they wanted to have something simpler. And of course, those other letters had color and different flows. Well, this software gives you a full 12 months of disputing that you can utilize and leverage for your clients. So I don't want to confuse you and say every client you're going to have is 12 months. It's not. But what we're saying is, if you have a client and you're trying to leverage this platform, if you are the client and you're trying to leverage this platform, this is the simple, most tactful, most integratable way for you to effectively and efficiently dispute items off your credit report. Okay, like, we're giving you the tea right here. So once you get into the training module, you click free download, you will have the step-by-step guide on what to do. Now, if you say to me, well, Raquel, I don't have the pro, I only have the standard platform, that's fine. Okay, you would still follow this same flow. The only difference is, because you don't have the pro, you will not be able to do creditor letters. Something that someone said to me in the last group was, well, what do you mean? Because she wasn't aware that there were letters that were going to the credit bureaus. And then there were specific letters in the pro, when you're using Credit Dyno, that are going to go to the actual creditors that are listed on your credit report, i.e. JP Morgan Chase, what's that, Fingerhut. You know, you'll get letters specifically for each one of those creditors. The goal is to make it where you're not getting fraudulent verification letters back from the credit bureaus, because you're forcing the creditors to respond as well as the credit bureau, right? And then from there, you're also getting the step-by-steps as to when are you sending out letters to the third-party companies, and when are you going to file a CFPB complaint, so that you'll be able to know how to do this if you're doing it for yourself, like Calvin, or if you're a company like the young lady who mentioned earlier. Calvin said, give me a Jamaican patty then. Nope, not today. J Phone says, how come there are no more rounds with certified mail? That is a great question, Jay's iPhone. So the answer to that question is, there were a lot of people that, again, that were coming in as consumers. And when they were coming in, they wanted to know, like, why should I do certified? I don't want to do certified. How does this work out, right? So what we did was simplify the disputing process. That doesn't mean that if you want to send the letter out as certified, you absolutely can. We're just saying we're no longer making that a requirement in the first round or in the fourth round. I think that's where it was in the last, in the first and fourth, or the first and the fifth. Please forgive me, y'all. As a matter of fact, it's right here. So the old flow, yep, it had it on the first and the seventh. Now, because we made a simpler model with this particular flow, it makes it a lot easier for you to do it, and it's cutting down your overhead. So you're not paying as much for sending off the letters. The letters are also not in color. All of the letters are in black and white now. And again, it gives you the frequency of what days you're supposed to be sending the letters out. Okay. So is it best to get pro? Again, it depends on what your goals are. I recommend pro because you're getting the credit bureau and the creditor. If you're doing it for yourself and your family, it's $197. If you're doing it for your family, you can turn around and be like, hey guys, everybody got chip in $100. That'll cover the ink, that'll cover that'll cover the software. You know what I mean? If you're doing it for multiple people, that way you're getting all the support that you need on the back end. But it's completely up to you. What I would recommend is if you're using the software for yourself and you're not necessarily wanting to do the pro because you don't want to have all of the additives or you don't necessarily need the class, you just want to do the letters, then it is completely fine for you to leverage the software itself and just not send out the creditor letters and still do everything else that's listed. Definitely not a problem at all. Do you know if the one-click button working with credit dyno imports? Yes. What I have noticed as a glitch to Santana, what I have noticed is that when you're going from one client to the next client, refresh your screen first and then go into that other client, because there was a glitch that was happening earlier today and I had spoken to a couple of people about it. So yes, the one-click import is working and we are going to use the one-click import on today. So I'm so excited about that. So I wanted to cover the training. So you have the free download as soon as you get in, and then you have the videos as to how you can utilize and repair your credit throughout the process. So like what the platform does, what each button and tab means. And I'm going to be able to show you guys this once we get in the platform. But if you have a question and you're like, hey, how do I import someone? Or how do I get to the attack? Or how do I see the history? Literally the step-by-step breakdown is available. And if you're not using Credit Dyno, but you are using Smart Credit or Identity IQ or MyScore IQ, the breakdown videos are there for you as well. So I don't want you to feel like you have to wait for Monday or Wednesday to go ahead and get that support. The videos are accessible for you in real time. Okay, so that is the training module that I love to show. And our contact tab. So Dispute Panda has customer support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I am over here Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Okay. David is here Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursday. So if you are in need of real-time support, do not feel like we are not trying to support you. We really are. Our team is available 24/7. If you have a Dispute Panda issue, I want you to come here and go ahead and put in the client's name that you're having the issue with. I want you to put in, as you can see, it has your name. You can select from the drop-down box of what's going on. Is it a subscription issue? Is it a mailing issue? Is it a credit issue? So you can go through all that and you can put the client's information in there. I always like to drop this tip of using Loom. It's www.loom.com. I will drop my link next week, but Loom is a platform that allows you to do like a screen record. So you can actually record the video of what you're doing and show them what the glitches are so that you can get the support that you need on the back end. Okay. So if you're ever having an issue with a client, leverage that platform. It is free 99, y'all, for you to go ahead and record up to a 5-minute video to show what your issues are. The reason that I always recommend Loom is because it gives you the ability to see when someone has viewed it. So, you know, when you send stuff to people, you don't know if they clicked on it, you will know, all right? And this way you can kind of gauge and be like, okay, customer service should be responding back to me shortly. What's going on? If you have general questions like a press release, you want to be a part of the beta testing team, you want to have a partnership, you can go ahead and send that as well. Again, our customer service support is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All right. So I'm going to get started with enrolling and signing up on the profile. Does anyone have any questions with what I've covered so far? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. No, we're good. All right. So let's go back here. Okay. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. I know that you're good. Thank you, Calvin. All right, cool. So we're going to get started. So when we're setting up this platform, one of the things that I want to point out is that if you're using this as an individual and not a business, you do not have to put anything here. The system will automatically take your first name and last name and put it in the corporation or in the company name box. So no fret at all. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed about this. However, if you're using this for yourself, I want to point out that you need to have one email address as the user or the account holder, another email address as the customer or as the client that is going to be generating letters. So if you only have one email address, pause. I need y'all to go over to Google. I need y'all to go over to AOL. I need you to go over to iCloud and create another email so that you can have it as a customer. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug your information in here. And whatever you're using to create the profile is going to also be the email information that you're going to use to sign in. If you choose to use your business address and you have it, my love, you definitely can, Calvin. Great question. Right here. No. Crazy. At gmail.com. Let's see if it'll let me do this. Okay, so I like to sign up for perks, bonuses, travel discounts, all of the things. Okay, I like to know when new things are coming out and be a drop for me. So I personally do sign up for the special offers on the platform. It is completely up to you if you choose to sign up or not. Okay. So once you go ahead and fill that in, this is a service agreement. It's going to explain what you need to do or how to do business with our platform. What's expected of you, what's expected of us, all of the things. Okay, you have to scroll all the way down and then go ahead and hit sign up. And I know a lot of people said a lot of people had a conversation here about having to get into the software. Oh, it has timed me out. It's disrespectful. Hang on 1 second, guys. Let me get back in here. Question in the room is how can we pay for our credit or how can we pay with our credit or debit card if we're the client? So if you are the owner of the platform as well as the client, you would just put your debit card in the payment screen. And that's literally all you have to do. Hang on. Great question. Sorry, guys. Okay. And the other question is, I do have one question, but on my attack one and next step, getting a correspondent. While I'm trying to get back in the system, Chris, can you come off of mute to explain what you mean?
Yeah, sorry. I meant to say next step. I have a
Oh,
typo.
no problem.
So I sent out an attack and for one of the clients, and we got a correspondence from TransUnion. Once we got the correspondence, pretty much they're trying to say, hey, look, um, is this you? You know, you don't need a third party to represent you. You can do it completely free. Pretty much a stall letter.
Right,
So, or a stall tactic from what I remember.
right.
So the next step would be to send out a static, I guess a static letter, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty much a stall.
That is
That's what
correct.
they're trying
And
to
you
do.
resend the original round with that stall letter. That is correct.
So how do I only send for TransUnion? Because they're the only ones that responded. We sent it out to all three, and we only got a correspondence from TransUnion. So would I send back if I haven't heard anything, stall letter to all three or just to TransUnion?
So let me make sure that I'm understanding the question so I can make sure I answer it correctly. On Tuesday,
Okay.
you sent out a letter for your client, or last week Tuesday, you sent out a letter for your client. They already received
Correct.
a letter back from TransUnion that says, hey, you don't have to use a third-party verifier, blah, 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 verify that you are who you are. Your question is, can I send a stall letter now? Is that the question you're asking? Or is your question, do I send a stall letter out to everyone?
I guess kind of both. I really don't know the next step, so I'm like, okay, do I send it out just to TransUnion? And then I would have to send out a specific one to TransUnion. And then if I have no response from the other two, then I send out a different static letter for those two.
That is correct. So you send the stall letter to the person who has sent you a stall notice, because you
Okay.
have that right now. So you would go into the letter tab, you would go ahead and click on the static letter, you click stall, you would put the date of the last letter the original letter that you sent out. And you can, if you have the pro, you can download just that letter into the software. If you don't have the pro, then you would actually just be printing, like re-downloading the letter and printing out the stall and putting it together in an envelope. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And,
So,
then I guess on the next thing, I accidentally created a neck static 2. You know how there's an attack 1 and then it has a static
mhm,
1
mhm,
and then I accidentally created another one, a static
mhm,
2.
mhm.
Would there be any way to take that off
No, because
if
it's
I'm
not
not ready
charging
for
you
that?
anything. All you have to, if you don't mail it out, it's not doing anything. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Okay.
If you didn't mail it out, if you're not downloading it, it's just a placeholder at this present time if you're not going to use it. Does that make sense? So you're good.
It
And
does.
then
Okay,
you're
cool.
only looking to send another static letter out in the event that you're not getting you're only looking to send another stall letter out if you get a notice from the other credit bureaus that there's an issue.
Okay.
Does
And
that
in
make
the
sense?
case that they don't, it does. In the case that they don't respond, what happens? Do I send out a stall letter
So
or do
before
I
we
send
get
out another
there,
attack?
I need you to
Yeah.
I need you to wait. Let's not jump ahead because you don't know if they're
Okay.
going to
Okay.
respond as of yet, right? You already
Yeah, I
know if they
don't.
don't respond, you're doing the stall letter, you're sending out the next round. With Experian is very good at sending your clients the information via email. So they may not physically get something in the mail, but they may get something in their email. So have them go ahead and check their email after that 35-day window. I don't want you to jump ahead. I want you to stay in the present space,
Stay in the
right?
bubble.
Because at the end of the day, you might pull the credit report in 35 days and they may not have gotten anything in the mail, but there might have been changes done to the credit report. Or you might have gotten something in the email, but not physically in the mail from one of the credit bureaus. So I wouldn't necessarily be super stressed right now since you just sent that letter out and you already know the stall tactic letter process. Does that make sense?
It does. Okay.
Yeah. But you got
Okay.
this. I believe in you.
All right.
I believe in you,
All
Chris.
right.
Believe in you. And that way you're not necessarily, but again, just have the conversation with your client like, hey, I already know what this letter is. We're going to send out the round again. And as long as you're doing it in a timely fashion, because remember, you still have to give TransUnion the 30 days for them to process. And what I've seen happen before, and I'd just like to be transparent, I had another person who was on the platform that was like, hey, TransUnion sent me a stall letter, but then they sent me updates. And I'm like, you're correct, because they may have stalled you out on letter 1. But if you particularly most of the time in the rounds, because of how many accounts can be on each letter, they might say a stall for the first one, but the second and third letters, they may still process. Right?
Nice. Okay.
So I wouldn't necessarily overthink the process when it comes to the stall tactic, because very seldomly have I ever seen one person only have one letter go to each credit bureau. You're normally getting multiple letters. So there's a possibility they may get multiple stall letters back from TransUnion, or they may have just gotten one and they still get the other letters worked.
Gotcha. Yeah, because my client, he received 2 stall
Mhm.
letters, stating different things. One was correct to verify who you are, and the other one was to say that third party, you don't need a third party, that you can do it completely free on your own. So
Got it. Got it.
from the same bureau, and
Got it.
so that's
Um,
yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going.
Got it. Yeah. So definitely hang. I wouldn't be nervous. I would, since you know you got 2 back from TransUnion. If they have a total of 3 letters, print the stall letter. Print the stall letter and then just reprint out their letters if you don't have Pro, where you can drop it in and get it all printed out at once. Okay.
Gotcha. And then
All
send them
right.
all together.
And send, yeah, you can send it all together.
Nice.
Ooh, let me try and remember what this email is. Okay, so I have a great question, Chris. Thank you so much for being amazing and coming on the spotlight, honey. So I have a question in the chat that says, hello, I'm a client and it tells me I can't pay for Pro and credits because I'm a client. So Miss Berry, I have a quick question for you. My question is, do you own the Dispute Panda software? Like, I just signed up and I am now the owner of this software. Are you the owner of the software, and can you come off of mute? Okay, so if you own the software, you're not going to put your card in as a client. You're going to click on the balance, which I'm jumping ahead, guys, but hang on. You're going to click on it as a client. You're going to add your payment information in here. That you need for the file. Okay. I hope that makes sense. And it has all my business. Let me see. Let me stop share. So she says she does own it. Okay, yeah, so you're gonna have to physically go into the actual like main page in order to see what you need to see. So I don't want you to, you're not gonna do it from the client standpoint. You're gonna go into the actual Dispute Panda and you're actually gonna put it in there for the client page. So great question. All righty, let's see. That's fine. Let me come back here. Go back to sharing screens. All right. There was one more question in the chat. Do you have a question? Okay, we already answered Chris. We answered Miss Berry. Is there a template for stall letters? There is, Julian. If you go, and I will show you guys in a second, but when you go into the system under static letters, which is a free option, as long as you have money in your bucket, you can print static letters for your client, and in that option it says stall. So I'm not quite sure if that answers the question that you have. If not, come off mute so I can dive in a little bit more. Can you use a passport for verification? We are going to go over verification, and David did drop the option in the group, so I love that. Thank you so much, David, for being so dope. Okay. Okay, and I can clean mine too. Yes. Okay, cool beans. So now that we're in the platform, I'm gonna go over the platform on the side panels over here, and then after we go through all of these, I'm gonna break down the settings, and then we're gonna dive in with onboarding our first client and then doing our first round of letters together. Okay. This verification information does show up here, so you do want to verify the email address that you're leveraging. Again, I want to point out that you don't have to do it right now. If you're literally signing up with me, you can come back and do it later, but I want you to kind of be able to see what the platform looks like and how it works. So this is the main screen. On the main screen, if you have multiple clients, you'll be able to see all the client information. If you are on the Pro, you will have the date of birth option. You can click here to upgrade to Pro. It does give you a host of things that I'm going to cover in a second. And then if you are going to be doing this as another stream of income, another revenue, right? I want you to go ahead and understand that you can leverage Credit Dino and sign up as an affiliate. You can get anywhere from $8 to $22 from every client that you send out your referral link to that signs up. So if you guys do not have credit monitoring at this present time, what I want you to do, if you're doing yourself and you're in real time working the file, I want you to go ahead and go to the Credit Dyno screen. If you have the Dispute Panda and you have your affiliate link, that's fine. But I want you to sign up to the Credit Dyno, and I want you to go through and answer the questions while we're trying to build out. I want to point out that in your affiliate link, it does not give them a free trial for the 7 days. You only get the $29.99 right then, right there. Okay. However, it's still the same process. You put in all your information and you officially sign up. Once you finish that option, let me go back here. You can go ahead and put this on your social media platforms. You can put this on your bio link if you have one, so that other people have the accessibility to go ahead and do this. I normally try to post at least the first week of the month about credit monitoring. Now, I do want to explain the difference between Credit Dyno, outside of the fact that it gives you the ability for the creditor letters. What I like to explain with Credit Dyno is Credit Dyno gives you a full 7-year report for your client. So when we're looking at most of the other credit monitor software, all of them, they only give you 2 years of the credit report. So the client will show like derogatory, or might say previously late, but you're not able to see that because it's outside of the 24-month window. You have the ability to go ahead and see all that information. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like once it gets loaded in the system. No, you're not able to buy the creditor letters, Fred. And the reason why is because the creditor letters are generated off of the Credit Dyno information. So the integration between the software speaking to each other allows the system to systemically generate letters for creditors, but that is only with the coding that is in Credit Dyno. So if you do not have the Credit Dyno app and you're using, or the Credit Dyno monitoring, and you're using another monitoring software, you will only be able to generate letters for the credit bureaus, unless you're going to do a free form letter for yourself or that specific creditor. That is something that you would have to create. But no, they're not setting it up where you can buy the creditor letters if you do not have Pro. But great question. Great question. And I'll take that back to Dominique, because that's a good question, or something that they could possibly look into. But right now the answer is no. So when you're looking at the software, there are 2 ways that you can get your client information. It's at the top browser. You do need to have at least 3 characters in order to pull in the client that you're looking for, or you can go ahead and click on client, and you can see the active, the inactive clients. And if you're switching from one platform over to this one, if you click on import, you can import your CSV file with all of your clients' information. Again, shameless plug for the loom.com. You can show them where you're having a glitch, and you can also send customer service information that they can pull your clients over for you as well if you're having a hard time doing it. Customer services, theboom.com. Okay. When it comes to new clients, this is where you would go to add a client, and we're going to do that in a minute. Hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry. It says I put my first client in today, uploaded everything, got to the dispute tab, clicked on the training module, and was unable to get back to the disputing tab. So I was unable to click on the black box going forward to the next screen. My customer now shows up in the active screen twice, one saying processing and one saying needs support. Reached out to customer service and they said, I have no client. Again, use loom.com, show them your screen as to what you're seeing so that they can see your front facing. Because remember, customer support is seeing the back end. So there could be a glitch on the back end that they're not experiencing. Loom.com, screen record your actual screen, copy the link, drop it in the message to them to show them what you're actually looking at so you can have the error. But I'll also show you how to get back to the disputing tab if something happens, okay? I'll show you that in real time. Not a problem. Great question, Blue. All right, so if you have any, after you've done the clients, if you have letters, this is where you would see all the letters and whatever clients are associated with it. The software does allow you to go ahead and mail out letters from the software. Please bear in mind that you have until 12 p.m. PST time, which is Cali time, I believe, to go ahead and get the letters out same day. If not, it's going to be next day mail. The mails only go out Monday through Friday. I have a lot of people ask, well, which one is better? For me, I personally am a control freak. I tell everyone on every class, me and Hunter, my AKA 6-year-old bodyguard, go to the post office on Wednesday afternoons, and I go again on Saturday with my husband. So we actually have a trip where me and my son goes to the post office together. I just like to print it. I like to know when it's leaving me, when it's getting there, and that way I can, again, it's going regular mail. So I'm hoping that the mailman is sending it out, but I feel like I have a little bit more control over it versus relinquishing it to the system to get done. For transparency, my accountability partner uses the mailing service. She has not had an issue with it. However, she doesn't have a Hunter that likes to go to the post office with her. So that's a clear reason, right? But you can have the system do it as well. You can have the system send it out certified mail if you choose to do so as well. And you would have to pay for it. I have someone say, well, what's the price? It depends on your client. If your client has a light file, then your price is going to be pricing accordingly. If your client has a thick file, then the price is going to be pricing accordingly. But also think about the fact that you're not having to worry about ink. You're not having to worry about paper. You're not having to worry about, is it going to be mailed? Because everything is done for you and you can see the completion on site. Now, the only thing that is guaranteed is certified mail. That's the only guarantee that you have. Think of the standard mail, just like if you were to take it to the post office, drop it in a post box, and you don't know if the mailman picked up your letters and mailed it off like they were supposed to, right? So I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, well, how do I know? The only way that you have a guaranteed tracker is if you are using the certified mail, okay? But you are able to see the information, and it does put a code on the letter so that you can actually have the tracking information if you're using certified. Again, the rounds that we have now does not require us to use certified mail. That does not mean you can't. We're just giving you a lower cost option for you to be a beast in the credit streets for yourself, okay? This inbox tool is also available. This comes with the Pro, where you can email and send information out to your clients. The report tab, I'm going to show you guys what the report tab looks like. It is flipping amazing. So this is what the report tab looks like on the corporate level. So like on the actual main screen, but there's actually also, there is also an option for your individual clients. So if you're using this to build your platform, you may not already have clients or doing this as yourself. Once you do your first round, you do your second round, and you go ahead and click on the reports. If you have the Pro feature, you'll be able to leverage this, and you can actually put it on your social medias. And this is what it will look like. Jay, I am Central Standard Time, so I'm in Texas right now. So right now it is 8:43 p.m. where I am. Yes, come on, Miss Berry, beast in these credit streets. So this is what the social media share would look like. You also have one for your clients whenever you download their information. And if you have a logo, your logo would appear. Whatever your phone number or website information is will also show up on the screen for you as well. So we want to make sure that you have the ability to go ahead and let people know, like, hey, I'm really doing my thing right now, right? And the system does this for you automatically. The subscription tab is also a Pro feature where you can create payment forms. If you have the Pro option, you would create the form and you can click that option to go over to the client. I will be making a video on this so that everyone who's on the Pro will be able to know how to link it to their client if they're already in the system, and how to link it to their client if they are not in the system as of yet, right? Like you'll have the ability to do both. So this is a subscription plan, so you can create separate plans for your clients. So if you're like, hey, I want this particular plan, because like for me, I have a done for you, I have a done with you service, right? There are different options that are available. So depending on how you come in and what you curate, will depend on which one of the payment options go to my client. Again, if you click on the training tab, it takes you to the training module. It will open the window for you. Please, y'all, click on this free download. This is going to tell you how to be a beast. And what? These credit streets. That's right, Miss Berry. I like how she stays on top. Can I show you a copy of my client agreement? I cannot, but I can drop a contract in the chat for you guys to have. I did share it before and then I got yelled at. So boom, I'm going to go ahead and share a client contract right now. So there's a sample contract here. And also if you guys are watching this on the replay, the client contract is also located in the community. We've dropped it there as well. So if you need help, you will be able to gain access to the client contract. But I did go ahead and drop a sample contract for you guys to have. Please be mindful that you need to know what your state laws are for your location. So again, my contracts have to be renewed every 6 months with my clients. So yeah, again, based on my location. So you want to go ahead and take a look into that. So, and then of course you can get back to the contact tab. And I want to go ahead and dive in. So the question that Ms. Berry had earlier was, she was stating that she wanted to go ahead and upgrade to Pro or leverage putting her credit card in the system. You cannot do that as a client. You have to do it on the main page. So if you click on the balance tab, you'll be able to update your payment information here, plug all your items up, and you can upgrade from this site. But you have to make sure, so if you're doing this for yourself, if you are the company or the account holder, as well as the client, you're going to come into the billing option and you're going to put if you're doing this as a starter, you don't have a dedicated business credit card, this is where you want to go ahead and leverage what you need to make any changes. Now, right now, if you do bulk purchase for the rounds of attack for your client, so if your client is not using Credit Dyno, you can go ahead and make bulk purchases where instead of buying like just $20 or $30 worth of credits, you can come and put a whole $250. Depending on how much you purchase, if the amount will go down from $17 per round of attack down to $12. However, we do have a subscribe and save. So if you're doing this specifically for yourself, guys, you can do a subscribe and save. You can do $20 per month. So you be billed $20 every single month, but you'll get $30, or you can do $60 every month and you'll get $90. If you are doing this for your friends and family, you would collect the money from them. Again, if you're having more than one person, the subscribe and save is not ideal, in my opinion, because you have multiple people and not everyone will be on the same day, right? So you might want to go ahead and just purchase in bulk. But if it's you and your husband, I would say the $60, because it's $90 per month, would be enough for you and one other family member, especially if you're leveraging the system to go ahead and mail letters. And I'm going to show you guys what it's going to cost to mail, so you guys will see what I'm talking about in real time. Because even if you're using Credit Dyno, the attacks are free, but if you're using Credit Dyno to mail, the mail is not free, okay? So this is the main platform, but I want to go to your profile. So you as the owner of the account, Raquel is the owner of the account. This is the email that I use to sign up. This is also my sign-in information. If I choose to put my photo here, I can. What will end up happening is if I have Pro, my clients will be able to see the photo. If I'm doing it as an organization or a company, I can put my company logo in here. I can make team members, which is amazing. So let's say you have a daughter that you're going to teach how to do credit repair, or a cousin that you're going to teach how to do credit repair. You will have the ability to go ahead and plug them in. They get their own password. They can create their own password. And this way they do not have any administration's rights. All they can do is go into the platform and do exactly work the clients. They cannot make any changes. They cannot kick you out, because you're the administrator to the platform, okay? If you have multiple credit monitoring links, you can utilize them here. You can keep them all on if you have Pro, or you can choose to shut off and only showcase the ones that you're wanting to leverage right now. A lot of people use different credit monitoring sites. So of course, the system wanted to give you options for you to be able to leverage them as you glow and grow. Okay, guys. The disputing option is if the address for the credit bureau shifts and you get the notification, you can come in here and actually change the address so that it prints out on the next round of letters for your client. And you can come back in and change it. So it gives you a lot of flexibility if there's any needs or shifts that are going on with your clients, okay? The invoice and the Panda Pro. Hang on one second. The invoice and the Panda Pro are all statements that you can use, and you'll have access to see the information here. The activity shows you what a tax you've used per clients, the mailing information, and the attack credits. So this is normally a big question I've had before where they're like, oh, we're husband and wife, so we can just share attacks. The attacks are specific to the credit dyno account that is signed up. So it's signed up for. So if you have myself and my husband needs to have his own credit dyno account so that every 35 days, he gets a free round of attack. And then every 35 days, I have a free round of attack. And then, of course, the integration is the option that's available for the Pro feature. So you can integrate with Zapier. For those of you guys in Pro, you know that they're giving you Kong automation, where you can use funnels and leads and all of those great things. Excuse me. And then, of course, the referral tab. I tell everyone to sign up for the referral tab. The referral program is not live right now, but it will be. So you want to go ahead and get your referral link, get it together, get it in the system. So once it goes live again next year, you guys have friends that might want to come into the space. You can go ahead and give them your link, especially if you're going to like realtor events or auto dealership events, right? You can go to those events and tell them about the platform and give them your link. So that way you can get credits for signing other people up, okay? So that has literally gone over the full site. Before I load my test client in, Lou's question is, I'm looking at the agreement. I see where the initial audit fee goes, but would, I'm guessing, would I be able to add a reoccurring fee? Yes, you can add your reoccurring fee. The initial fee is just that for audit. You can go ahead and edit that contract. So that is just a basic contract for you to use. You can go ahead and edit it and transition accordingly. Michelle, now you know you can come off mute now, Chad. Okay, question about Kong and funnels. Does it have setup, or is just come again and say what?
Okay, so I use I have Credit Junkie, so I'm asking what's the difference? Like, do they have letters and things already set up, or do we have to create? Because
you have to create.
So everything is blank.
You have to create. There is a video in the Pro. So if you're in the Pro group, which I think you said that you are, there's a video on Kong automation, and he walks you through the whole process and what it looks like. If you already have something that is working or something that's already there, you don't need to shift. However, you can use Zapier to link them together so that way, if you have a client that comes in the database and you have an email marketing sequence, you can have it where, okay, when they come in, this is where they go, and so on and so forth. So if you're already using something, for transparency, I don't use Credit Junkie, so I don't know what Credit Junkie offers versus what Kong offers. But what I can tell you is you do have to build.
Credit Junkie does the same thing. You have to build. So I've been trying to play around with things that were pre-done or
Right. I like that. Okay, go ahead. She getting fancy. She like, I'm working on it. I like it, Michelle.
Okay.
Yes, honey. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I love the participation today. Welcome. Okay, so if no other questions, I'm going to dive in with loading the first client. If you guys are at home and on your computer and you guys have already done this, that is completely fine. Just hang in there till I get my little test client built out, okay? Now, you want to make sure that when you're putting in the information, I'm going to tell you what I do, okay? I put in the junior, the senior, the third, the fifth, if it's on the social, I normally put it in. Here's the situation for me. Normally, because I'm a referral-based business, I do give referrals to my customers. I start sending them that information the day that they sign up after, and then they start getting the information multiple days, right? So with that being said, I might have a dad, a mom, you know, son, all of the things that all come into play, right? So if they have senior, junior, the third, the fourth, the fifth, I want to make sure that I know exactly who I'm speaking to on a consistent basis. So I personally put the junior, the senior. Now, please bear in mind that whatever you're putting in on this system is what is going to be generated on the letters for your client. You want it to be accurate. You want to take your time. You don't need to rush, and you want to double check. And I'm going to show you, if you make a mistake, how you can correct it, because to err is human. All right. That's what they said, child. I was watching that show when they said it. So remember, I signed up with Stormy. Okay. So I'm going to sign up with Robu, okay, at Gmail, because it has to be a different email address. Okay. The phone number, if you are a client, your phone number can be the same. I do not want you to fret about that. You do want to have the last four of the social security number in there, and the street you want on each individual line. So if you live at 1414 Mockingbird Lane in Killeen, Texas, all of that is going on the individual respective lines. I personally like to capitalize what is supposed to be capitalized, as them say, right? And then the zip code. Now, you want to make sure that the date of birth is accurate. So if you have the pro version, once you get here, you click the invite client, and it will automatically send the email, the password, all of the things to your clients. If you do not have the pro, don't click the button. It ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. It ain't gonna do nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Okay. But from here, you're going to hit save, and you're going to be in the system as the client. Earlier, someone asked, can I use a passport? Yes, you can. You can use a passport, a birth certificate, a marriage decree, a divorce decree, state ID, military ID, okay? W-2, 1099, social security card. All of those things can be proof of identification. Proof of address, rule of thumb, this highlighted option right here is telling you that you want to make sure that you are getting the updated billing information from your client every 90 days so that you have that proof that that person still lives where they say they live. If you're using the utility bill, gas bill, cable bill, anything of that nature. If you are using something else, you do not have to worry about that. If you're using double verification, such as valid ID over here and valid ID over there, because the client has the address that is valid for them, I'm not going to tell you not to. What I'm going to say to you is that you want to make sure that whatever documents you send match. So if you are sending a driver's license and you are sending a bill, the address needs to be the same. Someone else said to me, well, what if I have a mailing address? That is fine that you have a mailing address. Then you're not sending your ID in if your ID doesn't have that mailing address. You're going to send another verifier to identify who you say you are. These two are the only two that are required, y'all, the proof of identification and the proof of address. The social security card is optional, okay? So any questions on this so far as to identifications? iPhone 13 Pro says, I know this is all about software. Where can I ask questions about the course? I'm brand new, just finished setting up credit repair business. How do I get the other portion of the course, week 1, 2, and 3? Great question, iPhone 13. I hope you're still here, boo. Let me see if you're still here. Yes, iPhone 13 Max is still here. Answer to the question is that once you get into the software and you are loaded, the week 1, 2, and 3 gets dropped to you at specific dates and times. So if you just started up and you just got started with like the pre-work, it will go ahead and drop the next set of work once it hits that day. I think it drops every like 7 to 14. I think it's every 7 days. The information drops to you. If you have specific questions, you're going to bring it to the pro class, which is going to be this Thursday. You will get the information, and hold on. I want to make sure again, because I know some people have left and come back and left and come back into the group. I want you guys to make sure that you have the link for the actual community. Hang on 1 second. If so, oh, Jesus, fish mouse. Hold on. Copy and paste. So if you guys are having questions with the community and you want to sign up, I want to go ahead and drop that information in there so that you have accessibility to it. Plan on going pro. Is there anyone I can talk to in person? The call me the question guy. So if you're planning on going pro, again, in the group, we do have a Thursday call. I will talk to Dominique and see if he can add me into the software so that you guys can book me if you want to set up a call about the program itself. I do go ahead and normally drop my pro booking link, which I'll go ahead and do that now, that if you guys have questions and want to set up a one-on-one call, you can. Anything that's going to be over the 15-minute window, you guys do have to set an appointment, only because I have a lot of back-to-back meetings. So I want to be respectful of your guys' time throughout the process. So I will go ahead and drop my Dispute Panda link in the chat as well. So if anyone else would like to set up a meeting time, you guys have the ability to. Give me 1 second. All right, so any questions on the identification outside of what's been there? John White, it was my pleasure. It is my pleasure, Miss Yak. Is it Yakira? I think that might be right.
Yes, it's Yakira.
Yeah, I tried, girl. I tried. Like, yeah, that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Why
You
would
did.
it be a problem? I did good. See, I sounded it out. Okay, my Caribbean mother was breathing life into that to make sure I did it right. So I went ahead and I dropped the link in the chat so everyone can have it. So any questions on the identification portion of it at all? I want to make sure you guys have it. Any questions before we move on? I feel like that's a no. All right, all right, all right. So we're going to go ahead and close that out. So as a client, the goal here with using the platform is we want to make sure that you're not expensing money where you don't need to. So for instance, a lot of times people will go ahead and send you a picture of their identification with a long, big old piece of white paper. The goal is to try and get all of the documents on one page, like on one paper, no more than 2. So for that, we have a crop option for the platform. So you can drag and drop. As you can see, I'm a drag and dropper. If you guys like to click and find, that's fine. I just like to make sure everything's in its place. So what you would do is come here and you would crop out what they don't need to know. They don't need to know their business, okay? They don't need to know the account number, no ma'am. You don't need to know what the balance is. If I'm passed through one time, mind your business, okay? What you need to know is that this is active, this is my address, Bob's your uncle, okay? That's what you want to do. Cut out everything else that is not useful and necessary for your client. You crop and you save. What will end up happening is when you're putting the information into the software, it makes it easier for you to make sure that when the letters get generated, it's literally only showing just those dedicated pieces all on one form to make sure everything is nice and concise. Again, you don't have to put the social security card in here at all. I personally like to send it out, but you don't have to. You would go ahead and crop and save. And once you get all of these things in here, it should look just like this. Again, this is optional. You just need to make sure these reds are here. If not, it doesn't matter what you do down here, y'all, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay, just to be honest with you. Now, if your client has a new, like you're using a cell phone bill, or not a cell phone bill, a water bill or utilities bill, you would just click the X, and then when the 90 days come up and you can keep a note of that, you're gonna go ahead and drag and drop again, and then you'll just go ahead and crop out what you don't need. Okay.
Question.
Yes, answer.
I had a customer that gave me all 3 forms of documentation on one form, and I put it in the first queue and the second queue and call it a day. Is that cool?
That's fine. I mean, you can put it in. So like, let's say this was, hold on, let me open it up. Let's say this was the form and they gave me all 3 on one page, or all 3 just on one picture. Yeah. I would put in the first one and then I would crop it to just that page, and then go ahead and put it in the second one and crop it accordingly. If you decided to leave it big, to me, I feel like it's a waste of space if you have the whole page on all, you know what I'm saying, in the proof of address and proof of whatchamacallit. But if you cropped it, you're fine.
Yeah, I cropped it. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, they were trying to save some time now. All right. So if you guys are using other softwares, you're going to have to either upload or you're going to have to copy and paste the HTML. With the Credit Dyno, the perk is I don't have to go into the other software to pull the report. I literally just come here and I click the one-click import and I get the client's information. When you're using the other platforms, you have to log in first, refresh the report. If you're using Identity IQ or one of the other ones, you have to download it. If you're using Smart Credit, you have to copy the view source from the HTML code. So there's a process of what you have to do. When you're using Credit Dyno, you literally would come in, and let's say all the information was in here. You would just come in and click one-click import every 35 to 40 days, and you're good to go. All right, so that is another perk that saves you time and headache in real time, okay? So I'm gonna hit stop sharing real quick. I'm gonna plug the information in here. If you guys have questions, I will not be able to see the screen, but you can come off and ask me questions. Any questions? Any questions?
I have a question.
I might have an answer. What's up?
When you do the one-click import, you still have to go into log into Credit Dyno to update the report, correct?
No, that's what the one-click import does for you, my love.
So
you don't go anywhere else.
So, oh really? So it updated and everything for the new report? Okay.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep, so you don't have to go anywhere else. You just click on the one-click import every 35 days. It automatically updates because of the date. It refreshes it for you.
Copy.
Great question. Great question. Any other questions, guys?
Well,
I can't hear you. I'm sorry, Yakira, you decided to mute yourself, honey. Go ahead, come on back. I can hear you now. Come on back.
Okay. So my question is, if I went through another software or another company to retrieve my report, am I able to upload that report as well? Or do I only have to go through the specific companies like Smart Credit or the other company? I don't remember its name, but.
So you, stop sharing, my bad. So you can only leverage the ones that you saw on the screen. So Smart Credit, Identity IQ, My Score IQ are the only ones you can leverage.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay, great question though. Hold on one second. It's making me work tonight, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Let me remove this so y'all don't see that. But great question, great question. So yeah, you can use other credit monitoring services, but it's only the 4 that I listed that are compatible. can you show us how to put in a sample contract? I think I missed it. So in this one, I don't show that, but I can go ahead and show you on the screen where you'd put the contract in. Hang on one second, my love. Let me go ahead and share my desktop too. So if you guys go under, can you guys see my screen okay? Yeah, okay. So if you go under organization, where you would put your company website, your company email, the phone number. If you scroll down, you put the address, city, and state, and this is where you would plug in the contract. Oh, Lord, my computer just doing what it want to do. All right, so that's where, my pleasure, Mr. P or Mrs. P. This is where you would go to see that information. All right. So this is, I'm so sorry that I'm having a system glitch right now, guys. There's something funky going on. So I wanted to go ahead and just make sure that I didn't stop the flow of everything that was going on. So normally, as you can see over here, the credit report is in. And it says that we have a free round of attack. So what ends up happening is, hang on one second. This is normally what pulls up after you have pulled in the credit dyno profile. It will show you that you have a free round of attacks that you can pull for your client or for yourself, right? So you have this pop up, and then over on the side of the screen here, it will show you how many free rounds you have. Yes, once you put the contract information in there, it will be specific to the client that they're signing the information, so they will get that information on file. Now, with this, I had someone else that came in. Great question, Michelle. Sorry. With this, I had some people come in before and ask a few questions about the inquiries, like their concern was to get off inquiries. So when you pull in the client's credit report, just for transparency, it will select all of the accounts that are creating an error, right? That says, hey, you need to pay attention to this, you need to work on this, or something of that nature. However, systemically, it does not pull in the inquiries. It's going to take that's where it's going to take a little bit of your legwork for you to do on your end. Okay. So if you are using Mac, you can do Command Find. If you're using anything else, you do Control F, right? And it will pull up for you, or Command F versus Control F. What you can do is, you see how this one here has two, it has the CRB/seed. So you can either search by CRB. And I always tell people, take your time. If it only has that, but you see there's two names, search both names so that you can make sure that there is not an associated account below. Because best practice is that you want to make it your business that you do not go ahead and select an account that is open and active for your client. So this one right here is not an open and active account. It's a charge-off collection. So guess what, friend? We could dispute this particular one. So when you're doing the breakdown, the inquiries, you're going to have to physically select yourself. If you are doing this for someone else and they say something like, don't select bankruptcy court because I'm working something out, you can simply unselect that information. And then when they're ready for you to dispute, you can come in and reselect the information. And it shows you which credit bureau it's showing up under as well. I like to show the benefits and the perks of the credit dyno feature because they're dope. Let's just talk about it. So if you have the Wells Fargo, let's say this person's credit card was open and active. Again, imagine they actually paid their bills. It's open, but you're trying to have a conversation with them about their utilization or about their credit history. You're able to have a very robust conversation from this profile. You can literally have the conversation about their payment history. What is their payment history? How often have they paid on time? If your client is under the 100%, that means they're missing out on a total of 192.5 points. So if you're the client, you now need to focus on making sure that moving forward, you're paying on time, right? Because you're not getting your full points in the, because remember there are 5 areas of the FICO score. One of them, and the most heaviest weighted portion, is do you pay on time? If they're at 57%, you already know they're not doing it, right? So you're going to have that conversation with them that, hey, going forward, I need you to make this payment on time. Again, with the premise that this is an open and active account. If it is not an open and active account, there's a different route for you to take. We'll cover that another day, but I want to go ahead and really have that conversation with you as to what you're able to have the dialogue with them. You can also have an account health history, which means what is their utilization looking like? Partner, what in utilization is the second highest portion of the credit report, right? So with utilization, you're looking at the lower you are, the higher points you have. So you can have a conversation with a client that has a $400 credit card and be like, bruh, the statement date closes on the 18th. I need you to make sure that you pay on the 16th all the way down to the balance. But you're going to have the conversation with yourself or with your client to educate them on why it's important. Because the lower your utilization is, the higher number it is you're going to get in that specific arena. Okay. David says, I have a client who has a 750 credit score, just got approved for 13K. They want to close their Capital One card for 3K and 120 annual fee. Will closing this account dip their credit score? Yes, it possibly can dip their credit score. So the question would be, when you're looking at the open, should I open or should I close? How old is that account? My rule of thumb is if they have other credit cards that are older than that particular one that they're trying to close, it may drop them depending on what they get re-aged to. And the age, the re-age is worth, the age of the account is worth 87 points roughly. So if your client ends up closing that card and it's an old card, it could affect them tremendously. If it's a newer card, it may impact them slowly, but again, the benefits of the cards that they have and what they have going forward would be able to help them. If it's not the oldest card and it's only 2 years old and they have older things, what I would suggest is you can do the math for them and see what they're going to be re-aged to. I had a client who was talking to me about getting added to a trade line from like one of her family members. And she was like, I don't need anything old. I have an old card that has me at 10 years old. I'm just going to go ahead and get my aunt to add me onto her $30,000 card, which in theory was great. She got added onto a $30,000 card, but the $30,000 card was only a month old. When it re-aged her, it brought her under the 10 years. So she ended up losing points because it re-aged her under that window that she had, right? So now she's trying to gain back those points from being added, from adding that particular profile. So she got breathing room, which is what she needed for the utilization portion, but she lost out on the age portion. So you can do that calculation where you add the ages all together and divide it by the amount of cards that the client has, open and active, and that will give you the age that they will end up with, and then they can make the educated decision on their own. Great question, Mr. David. But those are the 2 features that I love. If you are a person who is savvy in these business trees, I know Miss Michelle said, I did it the old school way. Come on, Miss Michelle. I used to do the factual disputing back in my heyday. I'll do it in a moment. But if you want to make custom messages, or if you have a flow that you definitely want to use, like I have a 1099 letter that I send out for my clients when they're in a certain stage. You can go ahead and plug the information in here. If you are doing consumer law, like you're like consumer law 1536 US, whatever, you can plug it in here and you can save it as a template, or you can go ahead and use it for this specific option. And then whatever round of attack that you're selecting, it will not leverage that particular round for this particular letter. It will only send the information out for Wells Fargo for what you have in the custom message. If you want it, if you're like, never mind, I don't want to do that, I just want them to dispute it, like the pinwheel, power attack, whatever the case may be, you can just uncheck it and go through. Now, the system did do an update where if you have any late payments that could be affecting the client. So for instance, you're looking over here where it says, hey, they have a late payment, and it could impact you if you go ahead and do the standard. The system has now have a coding where it will go ahead and send out a late payment letter for that particular sequence instead of the regular round of attack. However, I tell people to go ahead and make it your business that you're looking at your letters. I normally start off with a goodwill letter first before I actually do a round of attack with that particular creditor to see if that goodwill letter will work. David, where can you go? There are different places that you can go. Again, the pro group with Dominique covers the basics of credit repair if you're choosing to go pro. If not, there are different platforms that you can get certified for. So I would say to go to your state website and type in CRO for your state or credit repair organization guidelines, and then you might be able to get some options that are alternative. Like I'm certified, I'm a certified CCA person for score increase and credit repair. So it's completely up to you guys and up to your location if you need licensing or not. In my state, you don't. I just got it because I'm Caribbean. That's what we do. We get license and certificates them and all of that, right? Michelle, the equation you're saying for the credit cards or the age, is that what you're asking for, Michelle? Okay, so what you would do is you would take the ages of all the cards. So like 2005 is, you'll add the age. So if the card is 10 years old, you'll add 10. If the other card is 5, this would be 5, so you'll be up to 15. Let's say it was 15 and they only had 2 cards, you take 15 divided by 2, that's their age. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you're looking to get support, that's how you would leverage that. Any questions about that, guys?
So you said add and then divide.
Correct. So you're going to add how old each card is and then divide it by the amount of open, because if it's closed, it doesn't matter, right? Open cards that your client has. So if they have 5 cards, one's 1 year old, one's 3 years old, one's 7 years old, you're adding all of the years and then dividing it by the number of cards. Okay. Goal is 7 or higher.
Okay.
All right. Great question. Great question. All right. So once you have gone through the whole profile and you've looked and dipped and done, you cannot get to the attack round until you hit the save filter. Okay. Once you hit the save filter, you're then able to start your round of attacks for your clients. Make sense? Now I got money in my bucket. Okay. So what I would do based on the guide, let me move this out the way. Based on the new guide, if I had the pro, I'm gonna be honest with you, my testing account doesn't have the pro. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Dominique about that. But if you guys have the pro, you would be doing creditor letters as well as the credit bureau letters, okay? And as you can see, this is round 1. Let me go ahead and make it a little bigger for y'all to see, okay? Because I got old people eyes. All right, all right. So what you would do is round 1 is Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted. If you're going to go ahead and send the creditor letters, you're going to do the static letters, and you're going to select handwriting. You're not worried about CFPB. You're not doing this in color, and it's single-sided, and you're doing this on day 1, okay? So I know that this person has multiple, but we're going to go ahead and pretend like they didn't, because this is my test account. And I would go ahead and hit the Supreme Boosted. I would hit the handwriting. If I had the pro with the credit dyno, I would click this option. Mr. Chris, remember when I was telling you earlier, if you have the pro, you can add the document. This is where you would go. So let's say you were specifically doing your client stall letter. You would go to static letters. You would go to stall. You would click the stall. You would put in the date of the letter that you originally sent out to be disputed. And then if you have the pro, you can click right up here where it says add the item, and you can just drop the actual original document that you sent out to TransUnion only. So you can drop all the TransUnion letters in there, and then that way the system will go ahead and put the TransUnion letters with your stall letters for you to be able to print out. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So when I was looking, so I'm on the free version right now. When I generated the new letter, it showed the inquiry, the collection, and the same thing from the original attack on the bottom already.
Are you saying when you did the stall?
Yes, when I did the stall,
Okay.
I hit generated. I clicked the same things when I went to dispute, and then I went to start the new round of attack. And I clicked the same items, and then when going to the next step, I clicked the static stall letter. It automatically generated the next or the same the
Letter.
inquiry collection.
So you didn't have to do all of that. You could have just come here, click stall, and then just gone ahead and printed it. That way you didn't have to worry about them pulling in, like you didn't have to do this step. But that's cool that you did that, because it will generate everything for you. Absolutely.
Okay, so that's still okay.
Yeah, that's completely fine, because you're getting the letters out that you need. So you're good to go.
And then as far as the stall letter that was sent back, do I need to send anything to show that I'm a third party representing them?
You do not.
Okay.
You do not. This is all you need to send them, because this is the actual code that they're supposed to be complying to. There's no reason to stall anyone out just because they have gotten a third party to help them, and it's none of your business if they did. You like nothing in the FCRA says that you're not supposed to at all. So if you have money in your bucket, like I do, y'all, look, I'm balling over here with some money in my bucket. So I can go ahead and print out all the creditor letters today. So I can go ahead and say, I'm going to do all of these wonderful people. Okay. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to hit start, and it will go ahead and generate that for me. And then see how it says static 1. And then I can go ahead and do the Punch of Fury, Supreme Boosted, handwritten, hit confirm, hit start, and then I'm going to have to type in confirm. Again, static letters are free 99 as long as you have money in your bucket. Okay. The question that I have is, why do we suppress the third party before we dispute? So in this process, we do not recommend, or we do not tell you to suppress the third party information. A lot of the third party verifiers, Mr. David, are actually owned, not all of them, but a lot of them, like Clarity is owned by, I think it's Equifax or Experian. So if you guys go to the consumer reporting list, it actually tells you who owns which consumer reporting agency. So a lot of these third-party companies, such as like LexisNexis bought SageStream, right? A lot of them are owned by the other, like by the credit bureaus. Not all of them, but some of them. Also, the information was already provided. So I do freezes if it's a situation now where the person has identity theft, or they are going through, they don't know how to not try to run their credit for stuff. I will go into the system and go ahead and lock them out so that they don't apply for other stuff. I will also opt them out of things. But it's this method that we're providing you, it does not require you to do any suppressions at all. Great question though. I don't have this option on mine. So Julian, can you come off of mute when you say you don't have the option? What do you mean, my love? And do you have the free version or the paid version? Oh, you see now. All right, all right, all right. You know, it's growing glow. It's growing glow. I'm glad that we can see it now, my love. Yes. So as you can see, it will show you the attack round. It'll show you the static round. So if I would have done, oh, sorry, y'all. If I would have done the static option at the first and second round, because again, I've been doing this training for a little while, so not all of the, originally we did not have this layout. So static was something optional that you could do. Now this is a flow that they're giving us for you to be able to be more effective throughout the process. Go ahead, Chris, what question do you have?
So when going on the static letter, how do I just select just for TransUnion? Because if they're the only one that responded to me, I remember we slightly touched on that a couple Q&As ago, that you can just select TransUnion just to send out that stall letter to.
So you're going to select the option when you're printing the letter. So if you had the Pro, you would be pulling in the TransUnion letter and dropping it here. Okay. If you don't have that, then you would just be clicking the stall and then you would be printing out only the TransUnion letter.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Got it?
Yeah. Okay.
Great question.
Yeah.
Great question. Let me see. Oh, the history tab shows you the letters that have been generated, if it's been downloaded, if it's been mailed, if there's a tracking number. You will see all of the business right here on the history tab. You can also see the changes in the credit report month to month, and of course the scores month to month, right? Updates. This is where I showed you guys, if you have Pro, you do have the ability to get that same sample report. Give me 1 second. Where you guys can get the social media information. It'll be specific for the client as well. So you'll have the ability to see that on the client level as well on the company level for you to be able to share. The invoice tab gives you the ability for you to create the invoices and see the invoice for your client that you bill to your client. And then the notes tab is the Pro feature for you to write down exactly what you did, what changes you've made, or for instance, like Chris, where you say you've already gotten the information back from that one client from TransUnion. If you had the Pro, you could put that in the note. TransUnion replied back with a stall letter, nothing back from Equifax, Experian as of such and such. So that way you kind of keep yourself abreast as to what's dipping and doing in these credit streets. Any other questions while we are here? Any questions? Michelle, I feel like you're looking around. What you looking at, Michelle? What are you looking at? What you looking at, girl?
I want my question answered.
I cannot answer it here. I would love to, but I cannot answer. And I'm not going to answer that question for you until you add your test client in. Okay. Don't you ask me now, name one more question till I see your test client in there. And I'm going to wait for you to book the call and share your screen.
Wait a minute. I am in it. I am in there. As a different email and a customer.
Okay, so my question is, do you have a test form? See, let me tell you something. Michelle like to play games with y'all. Let me tell you about Michelle, okay? Michelle thinks she's cute. She is, but don't let Michelle use you now. You need to create a payment form that's just a test form for like a penny. All right?
Okay.
Because you're nervous, which rightfully so. You don't play with other people's money now. You don't play with their money and their man. I understand. The two ends we don't play with, okay? Don't play with it. Don't play with it. But I want you to create that test form, and I'm going to make the video and send the video out. But again, I can't answer that question because we're on the standard platform. So what you're looking for, I can't answer in this space.
Okay, we can continue.
Thank you for all. See how Michelle's trying to start? She likes to start problems. You can tell she from over there, starting problems.
I'm from New York now. Don't mess with me.
I grew up in Brooklyn. What we talk about? What we talk about?
I did too.
Chopped cheese all day.
Bedford, DeKalb, and Willoughby.
What? I was East Flatbush on Utica. Hey, my mom was a Canarsie though, so she was good.
I'm a Bishop Loughlin Knight.
Oh, see, our people we just gravitate. Okay. James said, I got a letter from Credco asking for additional information. They are asking for my full social security number and dispute information and items and reason. So that normally with Credco, when they send information back, they will go ahead and they will send you a form for you to fill out. So what you can do is fill out the form. You can reprint the original letter and send that in the packet that went together, that like when you're resending it. Just for transparency, normally when I send out the first round of anything, I include the full social security. They are going to ask you that information. Transparency. They want to make sure that you're legitimately who you say you are. That's not abnormal. That's a real thing. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. However, if you had disputes that were included for Credco, I would just re-download those letters specifically for Credco, fill out the form, attach the form to the letter, and send the letter out. That's what I've done. Greg said he's from East New York. Okay. I listen, I miss New York, not the cold, just the food and the Chinese and the pizza. And the what you call it? Is it BBQs? Is it called BBQs, y'all? I miss BBQs. Oh my God. Don't judge my life. Listen, I was 18 and BBQs had drinks and I looked legal enough and they gave me and I don't know why, because my friend had to pick me up and take me out. I was lightweight. I didn't know it. It was a Texas cup. It was all traumatic for me. Don't judge my life, y'all. I am telling my age now. And I'm 42, y'all. It is what it is. I was 18, thought I was grown, hanging out with my homeboys. That was all 21. And it was like drink, and it tastes so good. And then I couldn't walk. I'm so thankful for my brother Jelani, who like threw me over his shoulder, was like, I got you, sis. I was like, thank you. I went to sleep. Loved it. We got in Delaware, we went by our business. Don't judge my life, y'all. It was amazing. What else? Any other questions in the chat outside of and I went there I'm supposed to go back to NYC to Queens in a couple of weeks, and all I want is a chopped cheese. I don't care what anyone says. I want a chopped cheese. I know that the bread is stale, y'all. I know.
It don't always be.
Listen, it's good when it's stale. It's good and nice. I want fresh meat, stale bread. Like, I'm okay with it. And I want to go back to the old school where we used to go. I don't know if everybody did that, but y'all that are from New York, there used to be this Chinese restaurant. All the Chinese restaurants used to give you one wing for 25 cents and a small thing of rice for 75 cents. I used to live my best life, y'all. Okay, my mama gave me a little $10 bill. I was balling with my one chicken wing with barbecue sauce and hot sauce. Right. But I digress. Listen, now they don't give that. They don't give that. Okay, they don't give that no more. They don't like it. But any other questions about the platform and getting registered, logged in, signed up? How do y'all feel about that? And how many people have been on this call? Let me ask this question. That have been on this call and has not generated a letter. Greg, I'm finna fight you. And you from East New York. Oh my gosh. Why haven't you generated a letter, Greg?
Because I actually know how to generate a letter, and I've done it already. So it's not that I don't know. So my question that I actually have is not actually what you're talking about. So I don't want to go off the subject. But I
will let you go off the subject and tell you if it's out of the scope of the conversation.
Probably is. That's why.
What's your question?
All right. So I'm kind of want to do something like what you do, a done yourself.
Done with you.
Done with you type of a thing. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to see how I could use Dispute Panda to get to help, to get them to done with them, but to not have you all over the place, having people trying to do this, be all over the place, having them 1 month doing this, doing that. So I guess I was trying to get like a real workflow that I could kind of keep.
So my done with you is still this. So I'm going to be transparent. I just switched over to the new workflow. I still use the red and the blue attack from the old layout. Now, if you're doing, and with my done with you, because I'm migrating over to this new layout form, so everyone that has uploaded and signed up with me now, like within the last 2 weeks, they are now in this new workflow. So for me, my done with you services, I pull their report. They still have to have the credit monitoring. If you are using Credit Dino, you can call Credit Dino and move yourself from the standard plan that they have for $29.99 to the $49.99 plan. Your commission will be $22. Okay, but my done with you service, I have a monthly meetup call. They actually get to, I have a community where they get to like have a conversation with me, and anytime I have a Zoom or a call or whatever the case may be, they get that push notification that goes out. It is $69 a month. So I personally kept it at the $29.99 rate for the client. They have to pay me $60 a month. I drop them their letters every single month. Okay. So the letters that get dropped, I would still come in every single month, pull the letter, and I mail it to them. Every time I drop it, I have a sequence that sends them a text message and an email that says your letters are ready to be mailed. Whether they mail it or not my business, right? But what I do is every time we meet up, I have the conversation. Did you mail a letter? Every month, did you mail a letter? Because what'll end up happening is normally by the third month, either they have not mailed the letter, number one, or they saw how many letters they had to mail and they were like, never mind, let me go to your full service. You follow what I'm saying? So that would be, you would still do the same flow. The only difference is you're not handling the print and go option, they are. If you're doing that.
So you do not walk them through creating an account with Dispute Panda?
No. I'm creating the account. I'm still collecting all that. Now, because I have Pro, I'm going to put their name in and I'm going to send them the link, but I'm still generating the letter. Now, I do think that I might have some other options that might come up, but right now, that is what I do. When it shifts, I will come back and drop the shifts, but right now, that is how I work my flow. So my done with you, I don't make them do anything. I generate the letters, I drop the letters, I give the information. If you have my VIP done with you, I will go ahead and fax the letters for you, and I'll still send it to you for you to mail.
So do you think doing it, because I'm creating a course. So I was thinking about walking them through how to use Dispute Panda in the course and letting them do the work themselves and mail it out themselves. So
you can choose to do that, but remember that Dispute Panda already has a flow guide. So you don't have to tell them about the flow. You don't have to educate them on any of that because the training system already gives them. Now, if you're going to do the course, just transparency, I would hang tight with giving them that information until you get your affiliate link so that you can embed your affiliate link once it goes live again into the course. So that way, every time one of your students go through your course, you're still getting residual earnings, because remember, you're not going to make any money if they get their own Dispute Panda program. You're not making anything.
so they're paying me off the
course, right? But you can get residual earnings off of getting an affiliate link and embedding it in your course as well.
And how do I do that? That would be.
So if you go here and you click on referral, remember the affiliate link is not live right now, but you would click on that option and you'll hit accept. And then once the program is open, it will give you the accessibility to get your own code. Okay. But it's not live right now. So I like to be honest with what's going on. Any other questions for me?
How long does it take for you to get? I was trying to get a time frame on how long. I was giving myself like 6 months for them to probably be able to clean themselves up if they did it themselves.
6 months for them to what? What you said?
To clean their credit up.
You can't tell them how long it's going to be because you don't know how disgusting the credit report is. You don't know how clean the credit report is. Do you follow what I'm saying? So ideally, minimum, so my verbiage is the minimum you're with me is 6 months. The longest client that has been with me was for 24 months. They had a different goal, they had a different plan, they had a different experience. You follow what I'm saying? So you can say what you would have to do in your case. Like my scenario is my average client stays with me between 6 to 12 months. Again, you may be average, you may not. So that way I'm not giving you any guarantees that you're going to see anything. Also, if they're doing it by themselves, they have to make sure that they're sending out letters every 40 days, right? If they're missing that time frame, I have someone who didn't do anything for like 2-3 months. If they didn't do anything for that time frame, that resets the clock if you're not sending out letters for 2 months, but you still have the software, you still have the program. So you can't give a guarantee on what the time frame is. You can say if you follow the course, you will see changes within the first 35 days. Normal, my general clients see changes within the first 35 days. And then you can go ahead and have the next conversation that says, typically, this is how long a client stays in the program. But everything is individually based. Remember, credit repair is not something that you can say, this is how long it's going to take. So you want to see while yourself. I think Jordan had a question, and then Mr. Powell, Mr. White, Jay, I'm so excited that you guys are new. Michael, I so love that you are there. Jordan, if you have a question and you're still in the room, go ahead and unmute. And Michelle, the done for you, 1 second, Jordan, the done for you option is where I create a space. So like if you guys are on my Instagram, I'll go live on my Instagram and then I'll offer like a discount package for my done for you service. It's already discounted, let's be clear. But the done for you service is where I generate the letters, but the client has to send it out. I also move my clients into the done for you space if they do not pay their monthly program, but they do go ahead and pay for their credit monitoring. I don't make them miss a step. Like I will still go ahead and generate the letter if when I go in, the credit monitoring is taken care of. I will go ahead and do that because I have clients who say they don't have the capital. I will go ahead and switch them over and tell them that this is another option for you. So that way I'm not losing them from getting where they need to be. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, creating the program and everything, I can kind of figure that out unless you offer that. But the other question I have is, do you do it through just Word and set it up on social media, log in on Microsoft Meets, or what is your layout to get that done?
Are you talking about for the 101 group? Or are you talking about,
One-on-one is done for you?
Yeah, so the done for you is just the letters. I generate the letters, I drop it to them either in Dropbox or in their Google file, whichever one they select, right? But the meetings, I have a calendar of all the things that I'm going to do and what topics I'm going to cover that I send out, and I give a calendar to my clients so that they know what we're covering month to month.
Okay.
And then they get a text message when I'm about to go live, like, hey, by the way, I'm about to go live, so that they can come on and pull on up. And if they have questions, that's the safe space for them to ask the question. Okay. Great question. Okay, sorry about that, Jordan. What question did you have, my love? I'm here. I'm back.
What's up? What's up? So what's up? I wanted to know, I ain't get no response from the 3 credit reporting agencies. They the last time we spoke, I was supposed to do a star letter attached with the original dispute letter.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent that out like 2 weeks after my first round was sent out, but still no response from any one of the 3.
I need a specific date, my love. What date are you on when you sent out the letter? What was the day you sent out the letter? Has it been 35 days?
It was it's been for the original dispute.
Nope. For the stall letter that you sent out, has it been 35 days since you sent the stall letter with the additional letters?
Nah, it was on November 15th.
So you still remember, when you're sending out the stall, you still have to process and allow them the 30 days to complete the task. So my question is, from when you sent out the first letter to when you sent out the stall, how many days were in between?
First letter to the store letter was damn, I got the laptop in front of me. It was probably like I don't know, like 20. It was probably 15 days. 15 days, 12 days later.
Okay. So what I would do in this case, since you did get the stall, did you at the 35-day mark, did you pull your credit report like we talked about? Did you see any changes?
No, I ain't all right, so I'm supposed to pull it right now and then see the changes. If no changes were made, that means they didn't respond. Right,
So
that's what you're saying?
I want to circle back real quick. So let's talk dates. So let's say, hold on, I'm going to use this client let's pretend this client is you, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I sent the original, this is December. So let me scroll down. Let's go to his. Okay, no. Yeah, we can go here. So let's say I did the history for this client, right? And the original letters that were sent in September. Let's use concrete dates. September 25th, I mailed the letters out, right?
Yeah.
Then 35 days later, let's say it was standard. 35 days later, I didn't get anything in the mail, didn't get a stall letter, didn't get anything. I'm pulling the credit report and I'm looking to see if anything has changed. If nothing has changed, right? Nothing's been done. I am sending the stall letter and the original round of letters that I generated back on September 25th. Okay.
Right.
Now, let's say September 25th, I sent out a letter. And then, hold on one second, because I like to, laptop died. Okay, you'll be fine, sir. Hold on one second. Calendar. So using real date, September 25th, I sent out the first round. So 2 weeks after that would be October 9th. Let's say on October 9th, I got a stall letter back from one credit bureau. No one else sent me anything. I got a stall letter back from one credit bureau. I'm sending a stall letter request only to that one credit bureau on the 9th, sending the stall letter, sending the attached letter that's supposed to go with it. I am then waiting 35 days to pull my credit report.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
All right.
So you're not gonna not pull your credit report because you want to check your email to see if Experian answered, because remember, Experian likes to do the email response instead of always sending the documents by mail. So that is something that you want to focus on, right?
Yeah, no, I ain't getting no email either. Yeah.
You didn't get an email, you still need to pull on the 35th day and see what's going on. If you are not getting any answers, or if you don't see any movement, that's when we're then going to have to talk about other options. And that's a conversation for the pro call.
All right, copy. Thank you. Okay.
But right now, if you have, so let's say using this dialogue, September, I did the letter. September, in the middle of October, I sent out the stall with the other round. But the other two bureaus never responded. And it's at the 35-day window. I'm still pulling my information at the 35-day window to see what's going on.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because those people haven't responded, right? So that's the play that I will pull to see what's going on. Because you remember, you still get a free round of attack every 35 days. If they didn't do anything, you still got that in the bank. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Sometimes I try to make sense. Okay, I try to make a little bit of sense. So yeah, in your particular case, in your particular case, I would still at the 35th or 40th day, pull your credit report, see where you are, but understand that the stall letter information, if it were me, and I know that I just sent out a stall, let's say 2-3 weeks ago, I'm just going to allow that 35-day calendar to run now. And then I pull that report and see what has changed.
For sure. All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. James said, how can you tell if the letter from the bureau is a stall letter. It says stuff like, we don't know if this is you. It'll actually state on the documentation that we need you to verify who you say you are. Are you using a third party person to fix your credit? You don't need to. Those are the kind of verbiages that are in the letter, James. So do you offer this course? Do I offer the done with you service? Yeah, I can definitely tell you how to set it up. It's real simple. Is Dino better than Identity IQ? That is a great question. I'm going to tell you that I use multiple credit monitoring softwares because Credit Dino came into my life this year, and I've been doing credit repair on and off since for 19 years. So yeah, since I was 24. So with that being said, I've used Identity IQ, I've used Privacy Guard, I have used Smart Credit, I've used a multitude of people. The benefits of the Credit Dino is, number one, you're getting credit bureau letters and creditor letters. So the actual letters that need to go out to American Express, to Capital One, right? Those letters are automatically generated. Also, I do not have to worry about, with Credit Dino, logging into Identity IQ, refreshing the credit report every 30 to 45 days, downloading it, and then putting it in the system. The Credit Dino gives you the one-click import that you can click and go, so you don't have to worry about anything at all. So for me, the benefits are there when it comes to the Credit Dino versus the Identity IQ, but it depends on how you feel about the software itself. Hold on, I'm trying to go question by question, y'all. So it depends on how you feel and what are you looking to do. If you're not looking to do creditor letters, and if you're not looking for the algorithm to process that, then, and you're just doing letters to the credit bureau and the static letters, then you're completely fine. You can go ahead and still leverage the Identity IQ for your client. Again, Credit Dino also gives you a free round of attack. So those are things that you can take into consideration as well. I like the fact that I don't have to log into two softwares because I already have my funneling software where I'm sending my emails and all of my things and my dips and my do's with my text messages. And then I have this software right now. So once the integration and everything gets finished with Dominique, I know that we'll be able to do everything in one as he's building out the software for Dispute Panda. But in theory right now, I personally like Dino because it gives me the 7-year report and all of those things. Chris said, question on time frame. Can you come off of mute, Chris, and tell me what question you have about time frame?
Yeah, so on the time frame, so like right now, the client that I have, we are on day 22. We mailed it out like on the 13th of November. We got a response back on the 17th. Or they mailed out the letter on the 17th, and we didn't receive the letter till about that Monday, which is on the 20th. From that point on, is that when I receive that correspondence, do I have a time frame to mail back that static letter or response?
The recommendation is to do it as quickly as possible, because if not, you're creating a gap into when you can move on to the next round of letters. So ideally, if you get the stall letter on a Monday, you want to send out the response on a Tuesday. Ideally, right? The very next day, if you have it. If your client gets it and they're like me, and don't judge my life, y'all, I got a whole stack of mail over there on the side. My husband checks the mail. Okay, we all have gender roles here. Okay, and he is the mail opener. Okay, that's what he does. Because I don't like disappointment. I don't like bills. But I open my bills and I go, oh, I'm gonna get a check for $3,000. That's how I read my bills. That's why we all do what we are good at. Okay, so with that being said, I do have my mail over there, and I have a lot of clients who will stack up the mail and then send it out, right? So if your client is very responsive, like for me in my email sequence, I send an email to them every 7 days that says, hey, don't don't forget to check the mail. Hey, don't forget to do this. So that way it's always top of mind. And I also send them a text message. So it depends on how quickly you got the letter as to when you're going to respond. Ideally, you want to respond within 24 to 48 hours from when you receive the letter, so that you're not creating too much gap in them processing. Because remember, according to the laws, you have to give them 30 days to process the report, right? To process your disputes. And if you send in another set of letters that are different, asking for another set of disputes, it's going to allot them an additional 15 days.
Gotcha.
Right.
So once that static letter is sent out, let's say, well, I'm on day 22 right now, under the 35 days. I send it out tomorrow, they get it and it's still under the 35 days. Do I proceed, or do I have to wait for a response before I start the second round?
So you're not starting the second round till 35 days anyway. I am a 45-day company, right? So I normally don't pull the credit report until the 40th day, the 40th to the 45th day, because it's 5 days for it to get there in the mail, 30 days for processing, and 5 days to come back. That's the way that I do my calculations, because snail mail be snailing sometimes. So what I'm given the fact that we don't know if they're processing the other set of letters that were sent out, we just know that they responded to 2 as a stall. I would wait until your 35 days hit, and then I would go ahead and pull the report, but be mindful that not to send out that particular round to that other creditor until that 35 day has rolled around. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's how I would play that play for your client. Any other questions, my love? That was a good question. Oh, it's 10 o'clock and my husband home, y'all. I'm finna leave y'all. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Lance said accidentally used the nerve attack free, not pro version on my personal credit on an inquiry that was used. I don't understand what you're saying, Lance. I want to make sure that I'm on track. So if you're still on here, can you come off of mute? Yakira, if you're, oh yeah, you're still here, my love. Yakira, you are correct that my FICO score does provide you the information of your actual FICO score of all the credit bureaus that are there. My FICO does not allow any systems to integrate with it. So that is why I tell my clients, if they're looking to get a house, they're looking to get a car, they're looking to get a credit card, definitely link up with myfico.com so you can see your realistic scores. But they don't play nice in the sandbox, friend. They not weedy. Okay, they just not weedy. But great question. Lance, are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, my love. What was your question?
All right, cool. So I got a question. So was a little new to the program. I guess I kind of maybe jumped the gun. So I had an inquiry from a company that I got a car lease through. So when I hit the all inquiry tab, after I kind of watched your video, I just got home from work and I was going through and I obviously clicked one of the inquiries that was for the car that I got about 6 months ago. Is that a huge issue if I sent that dispute out with the letters and I did it through the system?
It depends. So I would not be able to tell you how it's going to impact you. So for transparency, it could be that it removes that particular account off your profile, or nothing could happen, right? Because they see that you have an account there. Best practices is to not touch one that is linked there. It's normally more impactful on credit cards than it is for other types of accounts. Because with a credit card, if that was not your request, they will shut down the whole credit line. I don't necessarily think they're going to pull the car from you, but I have seen when they've done that in the past, it will take off the mortgage, it will take off the actual account for the car. And the simple fix is you can just call the creditor and let them know that it's not showing on your credit report, if that does happen.
Gotcha. So you would recommend if it does come off, just call and say, hey, look, it came off by accident, and they get.
No, you're not calling to say it came off by accident, honey. You're calling the actual creditor and you're letting them know, hey, I checked my credit report and this is not showing on my credit report. Can you please update? That's it.
Oh, and you could do that for a car or a house, hypothetically, if that were to happen? Yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet.
Great question. let's see here. Do I need to have Pro to use the Dino feature? No, you can have the standard. As you can see, I was just using Credit Dino. As it says up here for this particular test client, we saved the filter and we were able to go ahead and dispute. What you are not able to do is you're not able to go ahead and send the creditor letters unless you're in Pro. So you can still do the handwritten feature. You can still go ahead and send out the round of attack. It's just if you do not have the Dino and the Pro, you're not going to be able to generate the creditor letters. Jay be vibing with me. That's right, Jay. You know how I be acting. You know. The mail is over there, okay, Jay? The mail is over there. My husband just need to pull up in the room, okay, and just open the mail. Okay, that's what he needs to do. Take out the trash and open the mail. That's all he needs to do. I got everything else. I show up and show out. Everything else, I got it. Okay. Let me see. Do we have any other questions? Jillian, we answered that. It looks like we are good. Any other questions, comments? All hearts and minds are clear or nah? What do you guys need? Greg, what you got?
All right, one more question.
Okay.
How effective, how much more effective would you say the Pro letters is than the free letters? Because, yeah.
So the letters are the same. I don't want to get confused. The letters are exactly the same, whether you are in Pro or free. There's not a difference in letter. The difference is with the Pro version, you are able to be more aggressive with your disputes because you are getting creditor letters along with the letters to the credit bureau. So think of the free as you're only attacking Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You are at the mercy of them replying and making sure that they are doing what they're supposed to do. When you have the Pro version, you're also sending the letters to the creditors, and they understand the fination of everything. They understand if they don't respond, what's going to impact them. And they have a lower threshold to even ignore you than the credit bureaus have, right? Like I've had situations where credit bureaus be like, I validated that debt. No, you didn't. That company closed. They closed. I know they closed. I know their mama told me they closed. You know what I'm saying? Like you're able to have these conversations. So the difference between the Pro and the free version is your attack process is more aggressive because you're tackling two parts of the house instead of just one. So you live in a 2-parent household, so you can go ask mommy for candy and you go ask daddy for candy. But if you do the free, you only got a mama or a daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they say no, you ain't got nobody else to go smooch with. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nobody else to be like, I know I got a 6-year-old, okay? I got a 6-year-old, I got a 19-year-old. I'm telling you, they still use us against each other, okay? They call their daddy. And I'd be like, don't be asking him because I told him no too. Okay, I told him no before I told you no. Okay, so think about it from that process. You have 2 parents that you can attack versus just one. I know my analogies be crazy. Y'all just go with me. Okay, just go with me. Oh, I got a call with you tomorrow, Jay. I'm so excited. I took off tomorrow because my calendar is fully booked, y'all. So I'm very transparent. I'm the 9-to-5 coach, so I have a 9-to-5, and I'm transitioning out to just coach people and help people on the platform. And I promise you, I looked at my calendar and I was like, oh, I ain't going to work tomorrow. Go to the man tomorrow. Can't do that tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna try next week. No, but I'm committed. I'm actually starting to phase out and we're looking to transition. So I'm so happy that you guys are here and are asking these questions. Oh, I heard someone else ask this question, and I'm gonna say it here because we do have this on YouTube. So if you guys ever miss us on Monday or Wednesdays, or Thursdays, okay, we have the YouTube channel. Now our Thursday calls are not on the YouTube, it's only in the CRBB program, but our Wednesdays and Monday calls are on our YouTube channel. And someone else asked me a question about the fonts. These fonts are interchangeable. There's a total of 10 different fonts and it cycles through. So if you guys look at the actual flow, you'll see that it tells you like on this round to do handwritten and on this round to do handwritten. They're not going to be exactly the same. And I've had this question asked several times that says, hey, I want to know, like, if I send out the letter for me and my husband, is going to be same. No, it's going to be the same letter in the sense of the format, as far as, okay, everyone's going to have the personal information in there, but your inquiries are going to be different. All of the letters are going to be written out based on the information on that person's specific report. Okay, so I don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm doing Punch of Fury Supreme Booster for everyone and everyone's getting the same letter. No, they're not. And one of the reasons why I tell people about Credit Dino is because the software tracks what's successful. That's why we're able to go ahead and give you updated flows based on the level of success that's going on. Oh, David, do you have the link for our YouTube channel? If not, I'm gonna go and act like I got it, because I don't. Listen, I'm here to host, okay? I do a really good Steve Harvey impression, okay? That's what I do. I do a really good, hey, I tell you what, that's my job. But hold on a second. I'm gonna grab Dispute Panda. I'm gonna grab the link. Oh, all my business is over here, y'all. Oh, they done got me. Oh, hold on, y'all. Let me grab the channel. Okay. Here is the channel for the YouTube. So you guys can go ahead and click and watch.
It's already in there, Raquel. I'm sorry.
Oh, the YouTube link will be great. Yes, you're amazing. Thank you. I got a letter from Craig. Okay, I answered that question. My pleasure, my pleasure. Okay, so any other questions that you guys may have for me before I let you guys go? You guys gave me a good 2 solid hours. For those of y'all that showed up on time, for those of y'all that took a break out of your day to listen to me be crazy, I appreciate you, okay? I might have new hair next week. Just don't be alarmed, okay? I'm the Wendy Williams of credit. Just go ahead. Understand, I'm gonna have different hairs. I'm the same person, just focus right here on the cheeks, okay? I'm the same person. I might have a new lipstick color. Don't worry about all that, okay? Just come on in, ask the questions you gotta ask. I hope to see you guys on Thursday. If you guys have additional questions about onboarding, I am back here on Wednesday. I did drop my link if you guys want to book a call, and I will talk to Dominique to see if we can just add it in the software so it's easy for you guys to do that. And Yakira, I think I said it right again. Thank you so much for engaging, coming in. Everyone that's been a part and been dropping comments in the chat. You guys really make it so much fun and so engaging to kind of teach you guys how to use the software and how to dip and do in these credit streets. So I look forward to speaking to you soon. Again, before I let y'all go, stop playing with your lives during the community, okay? Just go ahead and pull up on me. Pull up on me in the community, okay? Now, I'm not here all the time because the girl be busy, okay? Again, I'm Steve Harvey. I got 15 jobs. I'm Caribbean, okay? I got 100 jobs. I don't never get tired. I get tired. Don't listen to them. Join the community. It is live in here. It's lit in here. I want to see you guys in here. So if you have questions, you have concerns, you have the ability to do it. Also, you can click on all the tabs. If you have any questions, concerns, you can definitely link up with me. What else was I going to say? Join the community. Oh, last thing, stop playing. Click on the training tab. Okay, everything you need is in the training tab. I am going to be trying to do some quick starts and some other things in here to help everyone get everything together. But I don't want you to miss out on anything. It breaks down the document tabs, attacks that are there. And again, these new attacks are located right at the top. You don't even have to search for it. We make it easy for you. Okay, not me. I just make it look easy. They do all the work. I just come in here and check like Steve Harvey, okay? So go ahead. Oh, we just dropped the link in the chat for the YouTube group. So I do appreciate you guys. If you missed, if you guys were late, it's okay. I appreciate you guys for even giving me your Monday. If you have any questions or concerns, y'all can always hit me up. My email is support@evolvedlifenow.com. And other than that, you guys have a wonderful night. If it's early, go get something to eat. If it's late, drink some water. But either way, I will see you guys on Wednesday. If you need help, have a blessed night. Bye. David, I gotta stop sharing. Okay, let me stop sharing, stop recording.